All right, y'all ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's get started so we can get y'all all home. All right, so you guys all know me, right? Does anybody here not know me? I'm wearing a name tag for Pete's sake. You should know me, right? Does everybody know Darla?
Yeah.
Does everybody love Darla? We all love Darla, don't we? Yes, Darla. Darla has been instrumental in all this. She has been the one kicking hiney and getting this done, getting all y'all's information, communicating with Cellgate. I just said, great, awesome, Darla, good job. All right, so we're going to go over a little bit of information here tonight. You have this entire presentation in your packet. It will also be emailed out tomorrow. I told myself I needed to stay here because it's being recorded. Stop moving around. So yes, this is being recorded. This version will, or this session will be sent out via email and uploaded to the website for you guys as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about the new system. The new system is called Cellgate. This is the operational system, or kind of the brains, as we've referred to it in meetings before. So if you see Cellgate, that is that proprietary system. So it can be used with or without the app. I know there's been a lot of talk or a lot of confusion and questions about why can't we just have a system that's just like we had before. That's about like going to a car dealership and trying to buy a car with roll down windows. You ain't gonna get it, right? Everything's got power windows these days, right? Power door locks, power everything. So, but the beauty of this system is it is flexible. You can use it with or without the app. Your old clickers, they will still work so long as we have them in the system. So if your clicker worked before, it should work now. I know that there was a little confusion of, Marsha, you said you were going to move the clickers over to the new system, but then you asked me to put my clicker information in the form. Well, what we found was some of you have 5 and 6 clickers programmed to your names. And we said, I don't think that's right. So this was an administrative opportunity to cleanse the system, make sure that the clickers that are out there are really the ones supposed to be out there. So that's why we wanted to confirm that information with you guys. For those of you who use your in-car home links, it should still work. I said should because so long as you use the clicker that is programmed in the system to program that home link, it should still work. Again, the caveat there being if you maybe gave the wrong numbers or confirmed or you had multiple clickers, you know, we want to make sure that, so if that doesn't work, we may just have to do a reprogramming of it. We do have the option for the new RFID stickers. That's radio frequency identification devices. If you opted in for one of those in the form that you filled out, Darla has those here for you tonight. When you leave, she can hand those to you. You can be on your merry way. If after tonight you say, well, I said I didn't want one of those, but now those sound really cool. Can I get one? Yes, you can. Darla will take care of you. This system does have visitor management capability, meaning you can manage your own visitors and give people virtual keys if you so choose. Again, you're going to hear me say this ad nauseum. You can choose to participate in as much of the technology as you want to or as little as you want to. It is completely up to you. And one of the really cool things, this system will take a photo of all visitors that are using the call box. So somebody goes up there, they enter the wrong code, they're dinking around and blah, blah, blah. It's going to take a picture of them. Somebody goes up there, enters a proper code, gets in, it's still going to take a picture of them. All of these photos are stored in their secure system, online system. We are not providing these photos to anyone. The only people who we will give these photos to is police department, should they make a dual request. If that becomes an issue in the future, hopefully not. So if you're concerned about your spouse cheating on you or anything like that, letting in someone, we are not giving you photos from the system, just FYI. Yes, ma'am.
Is there going to be a warning at the call box that lets them know that they're being photographed?
No, but there is a camera.
If you pull the picture, like I did, I was trying to take pictures and there's my face.
Yes, it shows you your face. Yes, so you know you're being.
It's not necessary legally to have a warning that they're being photographed when they pull up.
Not from my understanding, but we can double check with gate doctors. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there's a camera up there.
You know what? I don't care so much as just making sure that if it needs a warning, that there's one there. That's
sure. Sure. I know that there are cameras in other places in the property. I'll double check just to be sure, because I understand where you're coming from. I'm all about the liability shift and all that jazz. Yeah, for sure. Insurance. Yes. Perfect. Yes, we can double check on that to make sure. So for some of you, and I will not name names or point you out, but some of you have been really curious about this new call box and have gone up there and tinkered with it. Guess what? Your picture's all up in the system now. We've been seeing you play with it for days. Good job. All right.
Again, my point.
Thank you for being curious. That was fantastic. Darla and I were like, oh, look at so-and-so. Cool. Well, he went and played with it. That's great.
Checking it out.
Whoops, it was a he. I just said it.
Send your picture on YouTube.
And not me, it was not me.
The greatest hits of Belterra, the Cove. All right, RFID stickers. What's cool about these? So they are hands-free gate entry. So you're like, where should I put a clicker? I do my home link. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just another level of just keep your, hands on your steering wheel. You pull up to the gate, it will open automatically for you. That's those big kind of square readers that up there. Same type of technology that they use for toll tags and taking your money. Only you won't get charged anything when you go through these gates.
We already paid.
Huh?
Right, you already paid.
Touche, Helen, touche. It's prepaid. Yeah, exactly. These will go in the upper right corner of your windshield. Somebody asked in the 1:30 session, right corner when I'm sitting in or right corner when I'm standing outside my vehicle? Good question. I mean, valid, right? So when you're sitting in your vehicle. This is a picture of my vehicle with one of your lovely RFID stickers on it in the Chick-fil-A parking lot today when I went to get my lunch. Sorry about the disgusting windshield. But that is where you'll put those stickers. And like I said before, Darla has those that she can give you on the way out.
They're saying, no, I was gonna say, they're saying that you should put them like 2 or 3 inches from the top and 2 or 3 inches from the side. So that there's enough room for those readers to be able to read them.
And I mentioned this in an email to everybody, but I'm just going to mention it again. If you have a higher end vehicle, like a Land Rover or very high end Mercedes-Benz, some of those vehicles they almost have like a filament running through the windshield, and that will interfere with the reading of that tag. So usually if you have an issue with toll tags, you'll have an issue with this. So bear that in mind.
If you do, there's some tips and tricks we've learned about alternate placements of them. So if you find that you pull up there and it doesn't work, then we'll work with you to find an alternate place if you really want.
We can get creative.
I should have done inside of it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's correct. On the inside of the windshield. They are not necessarily rated to be outside. So that's why they're on the inside. All right, so when you pull up to that nifty new call box, you're going to see 3 options on the display. You're going to see the words directory, access code, and guest QR code. We're going to talk about each one of these in turn. The first one we're going to talk about is directory. So you're probably mostly familiar with this. The old system had a directory. Somebody is your guest, they come up, they scroll and look for your name, your last name, or however you've told them that it is programmed into the system. And that is what we did this time. So when you responded on that form and said, yes, I want my name in the directory, this is how I want it to show. Some people opted for an address. Some people opted for their last name, comma, first initial. Some people opted for their whole name. That is how it's going to be in the system.
I did have a few people that say I do not want to be listed in the directory. However, for you to have access, I had to put something in there. So it is only your address.
Right. But there's no phone numbers or anything associated,
No,
so they won't be able to dial
won't be
you
able to
anyway.
See you. Yeah.
So yes, just like the old system, the guest can call you directly. It will call through the app first if you have opted into the app. If you have not opted into the app, meaning you've not downloaded it, you did not get an email getting you to register. If you've not physically registered for the app, it will not try to contact you via an app. It will go to your phone, just like the old system. So hence there again, you can participate in as much of the technology as you want or as little as you want. So this is very much what the screen will kind of look like. This is an example, not yours, obviously. We don't have a Bellarmine and Baden in this neighborhood. But when your guest comes up, they can either swipe through to get to your name, or they can touch at the top and start searching for your name, whichever is easiest. I suppose it depends on if you're at the beginning of the alphabet or the end of the alphabet. And then they would call you.
They press the call.
They would tap your name and press the call.
Goes to the app and gives you.
No.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
One second. So we'll get through how to answer and how it works with the app. Yes.
So land here gets in, they have their own.
They have their own code.
Yeah.
This is where segue into the access code. Yes.
And garbage trucks
They have clickers.
will have.
They already have clickers. Yes. And they'll be programmed.
Okay. Well, somewhere you explain that, yeah, someone comes in regularly, like.
Yep.
Yep, we'll get.
We got you. We got you. We got you. Access codes. So these are going to be your frequent or trusted guests. One of the things we endeavored, it was an opportunity again, new system to be able to scrub the system. Access codes are very easily given, right? Verbally. And then someone says, oh yeah, well, your grandma lives there too. Okay, cool. I can give you the code. And before you know it, you got 40 people. It's like, somebody says, can you keep a secret? And then you tell your one person, right? Come on. Then codes get out and get out and get out. This is really meant to be kind of for backup access for residents. And then I guess, again, those frequent trusted guests. Somebody at the 1 o'clock session said, well, my daughter lives here and she's my person. Like if something happens to me at midnight, I need her to be able to get in. Cool, we can make arrangements. There are special circumstances. We can possibly get them an access device, because that is an urgent sort of situation. But if let's say your daughter lives in, I don't know, Leander. They come over once a month on the weekend. Maybe we could give them an access code because they come frequent enough so they don't have to go to the call box. It's all up to you, however you would like to handle that. But try your best to not just go, oh yeah, just punch in whatever to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who you're doing business with or, handling. The main reason for that is the codes are assigned to people, right? So if we're assigning a code to your adult daughter who's coming in and visiting you, when she puts that code in, our system goes, boop, that was Lauren Smith that just came in. So we know who's coming in and going. If you're just giving out codes willy-nilly to everybody, if somebody comes in and God forbid something terrible happens and the police say, can we pull your access history? It's going to show that you gave your code to somebody. Well, that wasn't me. I didn't come in. Well, how do we know? So that's where taking the picture helps. So just trying to impress upon you the importance of being very strategic and judicious in how you give out those codes. You look like you have a question. No? Yeah.
Oh, I just never. Oh.
Oh.
So,
Well, we'll get to that. We're gonna be doing some testing before this fully goes live. So what do we not see on this keypad? Pound sign, right? So you don't need the pound sign, don't need it before, don't need it after. So, the general code is we don't need the pound sign. It doesn't even exist. The pound sign is in essence the open button. So you put in the code, the number, and they hit open and the gate would open.
So when anyone enters an access code, it's good to enter.
Yes. Exactly.
If he's here real frequently, like we do have some here that their children are, partial caregivers or they are here a lot. It's up to you. I can get them an RFID reader if they like, if that's what you would prefer them to have, or a clicker. Something where it's a little easier for
One
them,
that comes all
you
the
know.
time, but like always has, all the time. All Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They're always in my house too. Those are my besties too. My husband would really like for me to break up with them though. Yes, so if there's special circumstances, yes, we want to be able to give out, help life, make life easier for you guys. We have to be, again, judicious in it, but as long as it's assigned to the right person. And they do get an access device, that means their name goes into the system and they will be tied to you as a guest as
So
well.
you can't put- Yeah, you can't put that code, you put it into the information in that number.
Mhm.
Personal information.
You can. We would prefer though that delivery drivers go look for you in the call. And I understand that they may be delivering to 14 houses in the Cove that particular day. We would prefer for them to utilize the proper methodology of getting in, which is to call. But somebody asked in the 1 o'clock session, so, Amazon's going to get in if they need to get in. Yes, Amazon's going to get in. They're going to figure out a way to get in. They will get in. Not always, but that's where they should be utilizing the call box. And yes, they're trying to get it done as soon as possible because they need to move on and deliver to other people. But, you have a gated community for a reason. So
So UPS and FedEx are in the same boat.
they're in the same boat. Yes. Now, I do know that they have been given a code and that same code is going to be saved in the system, but you don't always have the same driver.
Yeah.
Right here, we have FedEx and UPS deliver relatively frequently. It's not always the same driver. So ideally they should be using the call box to, right. They go, I have a package for Jim Maziak. Let me go to the directory, find Jim Maziak. And if they're delivering to 5 other houses, and then you would let them in.
Yeah, because even the postal service,
Mhm.
does some of those
Mhm.
things, so. they-
Right.
Right.
Yeah. For
The
sure.
old miscellaneous code will still be in there.
Right.
But,
That's what must have been.
right.
Yeah.
Right, and so we didn't want to take that completely out.
Right, but that's the
because
beauty of the picture then. We can see if they're putting it in. Okay, we saw that that was FedEx. We saw that that was UPS,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
And finally, another one, you know, there's a button at the east gate still working, the red button.
You also have a strobe sensor on your gates. All gates are required to have them. To where when a vehicle with emergency lights comes on, it's the same thing like at intersections. The gate will open. Yes.
Yeah.
They come by and periodically test those to make sure, or they're supposed to anyway, because that's how they get in, yes.
It's some intersections, if you're, if it's like late at night and you're sitting there and there's no traffic coming and the light doesn't change, sometimes you can flick your headlight up really fast and it'll.
Well, you're sneaky. I didn't know that.
So kind of the same thing, it'll pick up those.
So we know Darla's out running around at 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the app. So if you're set, you don't want the app, just hear me out. You might change your mind. So I love apps, right? We're an app world, right? So what's one of the biggest benefits? You get live video of your visitor at the gate. So you get a push notification and you get to go, yep, that's my daughter, or yep, that's Amazon, or yep,
That's Plumber Joe.
that's Plumber Joe, exactly. That's my housekeeper, whatever the case may be. It's just kind of, it's an extra level of security, You can grant the visitor access, and we'll go over how that's all done in just a little bit. Can be controlled from anywhere, which is, back in the day, it used to be you had to put your landline into these systems. Now you don't have to do that. You have cell phones, so you still can do it from anywhere. But with the app, it just really anywhere. Yeah. Somebody asked me like at 1 o'clock session, what if I'm in Montana? Yeah, cool. Yeah, you can let somebody in if that's really what you want to do. Exactly. So the way the app does it, instead of a phone call, it's a push notification to your phone. What's kind of cool too about this is you can put up to 6 app users tied to your account. So let's say, for instance, you're out of town, or let's say husband and wife situation is a little more realistic, where that you've got friends coming over, but you're tied up in the restroom, you didn't get to your phone in time, but he's ready to go because, it takes him 10 minutes to get ready, kind of thing. So it will roll over if we assign that person, your spouse, as a secondary on so if you've got a husband and wife in the directory, and they call the husband doesn't answer, but we put the wife as a secondary in there, it will roll over to hers. So, and then you can put up to 6 people in there. Exactly. There's always at the worst time, right? So that's kind of neat. So all of this, what is this to do? Is to increase the likelihood that your visitor is going to get someone, and they're not just sitting there at the call box and then backing up traffic and right. Exactly. So this is what the app kind of looks like when you would get there to log in. Please ask questions. That's what this is for.
Okay, this might be enough.
Nope.
I'm wanting to use the app, but what's the push notification?
So, okay, I think,
It's like the notification like on Facebook.
Yeah.
Somebody liked your post, so it kind of pops up.
well, what's an app you use? Yeah, it pops up. Correct.
It can be any kind of notifications for any apps.
I was gonna say Domino's is the king of push notifications. If you have them, they always manage to message me at 4:30 on a Friday. And I'm like, right, pizza would be good right now. Let me go.
Give you an alert.
Yes, it's an alert that's not linked to an email or a text message. It just comes through the app. Absolutely. Remember, there's no dumb questions, only the ones you don't ask. So downloading the app, if you opted in when you filled out your form, and again, it's not too late. If you decide after tonight you'd like the app, we can still do this. You will receive an email tomorrow saying this is what the email looks like. And the last page of your packet is a full copy of what this email will look like. Okay. I know that a lot of these emails can look sketchy, and in today's day and age, oh Lord have mercy,
Yeah.
they're all some Saudi Arabian king is trying to get money. So especially because it says Watchman in like the biggest letters possible, it looks kind of sketchy, but this is genuinely the email. We had this actually sent to a generic, to one of our own Gmail accounts. And then I just changed the information in PDF so that it was just generic, because this is literally exactly what it'll look like. If you have a Gmail, you may need to check the all mail option. I don't know why Gmail does this. It decides for you what emails are possibly important. So you might need to click on all mail or check your spam folder, because this is a mass communication going to be going out. Okay. Once you get this email, you see step 1, it says download the Cellgate app. If you have an iOS system, you're going to click on the App Store icon. If you have an Android one, you're going to click on the Google Play icon to download that, and it will take you directly there. It's going to remind you of what email address you used to sign up, what you told us you wanted to use. And then it's going to say, please reset your password with this link. It's the first thing it wants you to do after you download the app, is to reset your password to something that is secure to you and unique to you. Okay. Correct. Once you do that,
It's just an app.
it's an app password. Mhm.
So when does the email thing arrive, like morning?
So tomorrow morning, likely, we have already started a draft of the email that's going to go out to you guys with not only the recording, but the presentation, and also say, by receiving this email, if you opted in to utilize the app, you should have received an email by now. So Darla is going to send that out sometime in the morning, and then I'm off tomorrow. That's why I keep saying Darla. She's going to, I'm doing a walk through my new house. I bought a house. Woo-hoo. That she will send that out. So when you get that email from the Cove News, then you'll know, okay, I should have an email. If you do not receive it, let us know.
Is there a certain, deadline that you can't sign up for that?
Nope. If 3 years from now, you're like, you know what, everybody keeps talking about how cool this app is, I want to do it too. Yes, you can still do it. Fortunately, if you don't receive the email, you can still download the app, and this is how you could do it. This is all in your printed material as well. You go to the iPhone App Store, you can scan that QR code to get right to it, or you can just go search Cellgate in your App Store. Yeah. Now, once you do that, if you have an iPhone, you'll tap Get. If you have an Android, you'll tap Install. That's just the two different nomenclatures there. And then once it installs, you can open the app, and that's a little screenshot of what the app actually looks like on your phone. All right. When you open the app for the first time, it's going to ask you, that it's going to tell you it needs some permissions. You need to enable access to all 3 of these options. So notifications, we talked about push notifications. If you don't enable the push notifications, it can't ring to your phone. It cannot give you a notification. Microphone, obviously you need to be able to talk to the people right at the gate. So you have to give permission for them to access your microphone. And then camera, even though the person at the gate can't see you, it still needs to have access to your camera because it is sending a feedback to your phone. So you need to allow all 3 of those. All right. Thank you. We really thought about it because we wanted to make sure, and Cellgate was great. They gave us a lot of really great material that we were able to pull from. Some of it was more geared towards from the administrative side, but this was still really great information. All right, so you've reset your, oh, go ahead.
Would each of us have to have the app?
You each can have the app.
But
You don't necessarily have to, though. Yes, you don't have to. But again, one of the benefits of both of you having it is if you're both in the directory, you can set each other as a secondary. So if one of you is tied up, it'll ring over to the other person.
Only through the app, you can't.
No, it will do it through the phone too. Yes.
It'll- Yeah, if you have the app, it will try the app first. And it'll go through all the options that you have for the app. If you don't answer through the app, or you don't even have the app, it will go to your phone.
Yes, it will go to your phone.
And you can still set up options under there. We'll get to that in a second, but you can still set up a couple options under your phone too.
Yes, it's like a massive call tree. All right, so when you open up the app, you've gotten your password reset, you'll put in your email address and your password. Then you need to agree to the policy and check Remember Me. This is just to help an easier login moving forward and ensure you stay logged in, because that's really important to be able to receive the calls from the gate. Okay, so you get your first call. Now what do I do? Cool, it's ringing. What do I do? This is what it'll look like. It'll pop up kind of, it's a notification at the top of your phone. That's why you have to enable those notifications and stay logged into the app. You'll get this pop up. So what you do is you hit the blue circle with the check mark. Okay. So now there's a call in progress. Now you're going to see, isn't she just lovely? She just looks so friendly. Let's let her in, right? Okay. So if you accept the call, but you can decline the call if you're in a place where, you know what, I just can't talk to a person right now. It's similar to anything, you know, you're in a noisy restaurant or something, or you're not expecting someone. You're just like, it's too late. I'm not accepting this. You can hit the red X.
Oh.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Got denied.
So if you accept the call, you will see a live video of the visitor at the gate. So she's going to be like, come on, Betty, let me in. Let's get our bunko on. Let's do this, right? You can either tap the green open button to open the gate and say, you know, come on down. I got your margarita poured up. Or you can hit the red X to end the call. So if you're like, listen, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. You're trying to get in. I don't think so.
All I gotta do is hit that open button, though, let somebody.
And it'll let them in.
Will send comment for our account because it's
Yeah.
not working. Okay.
Yeah. This is the caveat here. The caveat here is, what do we know about implementation of new systems?
Glitches.
There can be glitches. We're going to do our best to not pass those glitches along to you. We're going to try and work them all out, but we are heading in the right direction, folks. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
1 second. So, I need a little clarification. If you accept the call, are we on live mic at that point? Or that's just video?
That is both.
Live mic. Okay,
Both.
and video. Okay.
So when you hit the accept call, don't be like, God, I hate this lady. Okay.
Exactly.
Love you, love you.
Well, and if you launch somewhere.
That's a good question.
Talk, then
Correct.
I know that I need to be, you know, clear,
Right.
something like that. Okay, so if we are live and live video on there.
On there.
That's right. Very good clarification. No, it's true. That's why I said, you know, you are live.
Yeah. Remember.
Remember, you are live. Please don't,
Get okay.
please say nice
They
things.
can hear you.
All right. So, Marsha, I don't care. I know that app looks cool. I ain't doing it. Okay, fine. No worries. You don't have to. So taking a voice call, it will come in as a regular call. This screenshot you see here is from someone's cell phone that programmed the phone number. Helen, hold on a second. Programmed the phone number to be Cellgate. I know she's smirking because she's already gonna be like, you lied to me. We were initially told that the phone number that would show up on your caller ID right now is going to be the same number that shows up if somebody calls you from the gate using the voice call method, not the app. It is not true. It is going to be this week.
The numbers changed.
So take this number, save it in your phone, save it however you want. This person saved it as Cellgate. You can do Gate, you can do Cove Gate, you can do Mickey Mouse, you can do Pluto, you can do whatever you want, whatever's
You
gonna,
know that somebody's calling you from the gate.
you can put DAMN Gate, the damn gate you want. That's what, I think that's what Ken's gonna save it as for him. The damn gate. So you want to make sure and do that, because what happens, sometimes you pick up your phone and go, it says I had a missed call. Oh, it was silenced because they thought maybe it was a suspicious number or something. Save it in your phone to make sure you get those. Yes.
Okay,
I'm like, thanks Verizon, but I think I might have wanted to take that call.
so if you're just, that's nothing to do with that, that's.
This is
It's
just.
just the
phone.
calling.
This is just on your cell phone.
We used to do that. Okay.
Yes, you got it. And like Darla said earlier, you can program up to 3 phone numbers under one account. So if you put, like, say Jim and Susan, Jim's got his cell phone number in there. Jim's indisposed. He can't take the call. He puts Susan's cell phone number in there. It will roll over when Jim doesn't answer. It'll start calling Susan to say, can you please let me in? So that person doesn't have to go, oh, you know, dad didn't answer. Now I got to call mom on the call on the directory. All right. So once the call is answered, voice is not live on this one yet. You have to press 1 to listen to the person and talk to them at the gate. So you answer the call and then press 1 and you say, hello. And they say, hey, let's, you know, I'm here. Let's, you know, let's get our drink on, whatever. Then allowing and denying access. So again, this is the voice call, not the app. You would press star or 9. For some reason, they have two options. Pick one, and that's yours. Star or 9 will work to open the gate. Okay, do you want to deny access? Hang it up. That's right. I don't know you. Hang up the phone. Clear as mud. Any questions?
Okay, going back to my question then.
Yes, ma'am.
When I press answer, so on the other page back here, I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out maybe,
That's okay.
Button.
yes, the green button. I still have to press one.
Yes.
You still have to
Okay,
press
when I
one.
Green, I am not live mic.
You are not live mic'd
You
in.
lied to me.
No, I didn't. I actually specified that you weren't paying attention.
Okay. All right, then we're good. Hopefully you can figure this out on your
Yeah.
own. But so green first.
Okay.
Yes, you have to answer the call.
And
This
like,
is
what kind
the
of time
call.
frame are we talking about to press the one?
I don't know.
Then, yeah, I don't know.
I don't-
We have 30, you know, within.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if I have to answer it right out of a room before I press the one, is that like too long? Do I need?
I don't know. We didn't ask that question, nor did they tell us that it needs.
But-
Correct.
Answer it and then. one to
Answer
talk.
and then
Say
one.
Answer and then one to talk.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions about the voice calling? All right, stay with me here.
Okay.
Visitor management. Again, I will say again, this is completely optional. If you're not feeling froggy now, but you're feeling froggy 3 years from now and you want to do this, we can do this. Okay, so you have the option to do virtual keys or QR codes to your guests. You can do this from the app. So this is what the Cellgate, like a little, abridged screenshot of the Cellgate app. And fun facts, anybody know what that little 3 lines is called in the internet world? It's a menu.
Menu, yes.
It's a menu. They call it the hamburger.
Oh,
It's a hamburger. It's the most boring hamburger I've ever seen. So you would tap on that because effectively it's a menu button, right? To be able to bring up your menu, and then you would tap on virtual keys because it's just like the name is denoted. You're not giving someone an actual key. It's a virtual key. The cool thing about this is you can set a individual key for one particular person or do a temporary event. So dinner party with your church group. You got 15 people coming over. You can send them all a QR code. You can set restrictions, dates, times, number of times that QR code can be utilized. The first example I think of with a restriction of the number of times is roofers coming to look at your roof. You just can't be there. Cool. Let me send you a QR code. You can use that QR code one time to get in and look at my roof. And that QR code cannot be used again. It disables it.
Listeners gonna hate us.
Well, they're just gonna hate it when we finally close the gates.
Oh, it is right now.
Okay,
You are.
it's a QR code. Yep, I'll show you a picture in just a minute. So after you've said, yep, I want to do that, it's gonna pop this up, and at the bottom, there'll be a blue little circle with a plus sign. You click on that. And then it says, what kind of key do you want to do? An individual's key or a temporary event key? So you choose the appropriate one. And then it's going to say, what kind of restrictions do you want to say? This is why I was saying, stay with me here. It looks a little overwhelming, but it's really not. So I said, you can do date range, time of day, days of the week, access count, number of times, and you can do multiple restrictions. So let's say, for instance, you have a housekeeper and you're like, you know what? I really don't want to give her a code. I just want, she can have a QR code
You can have it all.
and she can have it always. If you do like,
However long you want it.
however long. Yep.
If she comes on Wednesdays, but if she's there on Wednesdays between, she's supposed to be there between 8 and 9. You can set it to where she can only use that QR code between 8 and 9 on Wednesdays. She cannot use it at 3 PM on Tuesday.
Correct. And then we would have a record if she tried to use it any other times outside of.
I mean, I'm
that
sure
time
all
frame.
your housekeepers are trustworthy, but.
Yes. Correct. It's a way to get your arms back around your access control of your own community.
Well, this is with the app.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, this is only on the app.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so you have set up all your restrictions and you've set up that virtual key. That's why I keep calling it a virtual key / QR code. So the key is created, then you say, okay, I got to send it to someone, right? You hit share. And then you can either send it to them via text message or email. So you pick one or the other. And then you say, you click send invite. So then on their end, they're gonna get something that looks like this on their phone. They can save it to their phone. They can do a screenshot, whatever the case may be. When they get up to your gate, that's where they're gonna tap that guest QR code button. And then they hold it up to the camera reads it. And if it's valid during the right times and not outside of the restrictions, the gates will open for them. And then they can, and a picture's taken of them as well.
So the screen faces the south.
Faces a retreat. Mm-hmm.
So are there any signage out of here?
I would think so. It's got a little bit of a covering on it.
Yeah, I mean, really that will
Yeah,
wait to see. I was trying to take screenshots. I was trying to take pictures and the time of day, all you could see was me. You couldn't even see the screen.
Well, you
Just
could see the screen, but it was a lot of darling. You can even see the reflection in these pictures of this person here because it is a reflective surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they're having issues, you can like, you know, yeah.
If we find that it's,
Sun is low on it, so that-
yeah, if we find that it's becoming an issue, then we can figure something out.
that's why.
That's what we have. But as we know, a lot of questions can help with learning. Yes, Ken?
Pedestrian gate,
It's the same. No change.
135.
135. That has nothing to do with this. Yeah, it should still work.
No.
Or no. So the lower gate, pedestrian gate not working? Because last I heard it was. Jim?
So, one, I'd like to thank you guys for.
You're welcome.
So, my name is Jim Maziak, so I'm chair of the Cove committee, and, Ken Breeze, good looking husband. With the food, has really shepherded the gate revolutionary during the last 2 years. So let me apologize that this has taken so long. We just didn't want to spend all of your money to go to the nuclear option and replace everything, because it was about 45 grand. So we kind of hope that stepping through the resolution replacement of things that we were told were wrong was the way to go. So we started with a preventive maintenance contract a year and a half ago. And so we replaced the gate operators, which are state of the art, high-end technology system. Those big tall green boxes, that operate the linkage that opens the gate. But this is a communication system that speaks to those operators. So now we replace everything. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and all of this works. And we've been credited with the money that would have been spent on some of these communication replacements. Gate doctor says equipment that, so we didn't spend that twice. So, and we did have money in reserves for the system, so we didn't spend all that 45,000. It would have been 45,000 less whatever we had in reserves. So I don't know what that means, but we'll hopefully run that.
Well, the replacement of the actual with this cell gate system was only just over $8,000.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was not that. It wasn't, like, whoa, where's he getting 45?
Well,
Well, we planned that to make it seem like 8,000 wasn't that bad. Huh?
the bulk is together, the estimate was about 45,000.
Oh, yeah, if we did the operators and the, yeah.
So there we go. So we kind of hope this works, but again, I want to appreciate your patience and Ken's diligence in trying to get this resolved. We're working with part of it and get that. So.
Yeah.
I think this is a question for you, Jim. This is software-based, which typically these days means some sort of ongoing subscription fee. Do we have an idea of what our annual nuts going to be on that part of it?
Right. So we were paying $35 a month with the Door King system anyway, because you're right, there's ongoing. And so that's about the same amount. And then there's a small fee per user for the app. I think it's like $1 or $2 per month per user per app. So it'll be a little bit more expensive depending upon how many people opt into the app. But it's still, it's definitely within budget for sure.
We also pay the electricity to operate the system, but our operating expenses are improved, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
So, good question.
Yeah, very good question.
So you said that it was going to be installed on the 3rd.
So the whole system is installed. It's a matter of flipping the switch, turning it on and shutting the gates. So I'm glad you brought that up because that is the next, it's a little more involved than flipping the switch, but for our purposes, flipping the switch on the 3rd. I emailed Evan with Gate Doctors today to say, can you give me an idea of what time? Because we want to be down there with all examples of
With all our
access,
stuff.
all access devices, so we can test it all to ensure that it is operating. Because if all of we can reasonably be assured that if each one of, one RFID reader, clicker, like all of the different access devices are working, then all of yours should work as well. So after that's done, we will send another email to the community saying, sorry, this is kind of sacrilege, but it is finished after Easter, but it's all installed. It is all, as far as from we're aware, it's working correctly. So that email will come sometime on Wednesday. I just don't have a time just yet.
I think the design of this gate code, that would be gate code or the whole gate.
Your own gate code will work. If that's what you gave me in the forms,
Yeah.
if that's what you gave me in the forms that y'all filled out, then that is what your gate code will be.
Yeah, unless Darla contacted you and said, nope, you can't have that code. I think she had a question back there. Yeah.
Question, I'm assuming it'll work the same way, if there's a power outage,
Mhm.
it'll automatically be.
That is what we were told. We will double confirm with Evan with Gate Doctors to say if there's a power outage, the gate should just open automatically rather than locking everybody in. That's not safe. Yeah. Yes, for sure.
So we have to wait till you tell us that it's running before we do that.
Nope, Darla's gonna send out a link for the app tomorrow. That way you guys can get that
If
all
you
pre-done.
want to, by all means.
You can download the app now. You're just not gonna be able to get into anything,
Yeah.
but you can be ready to go. Once she sends, because she has to, there's a button that says, send the credentials to everyone who has opted in. So it's literally a click of a button online, and she'll do that, but I don't want to commit her to a particular time in the morning because we never know what the day's gonna look like, so.
And based on the number of questions, we contact either call the
Mm-hmm.
office, depending on business questions.
Someone even asked us in the 1 o'clock session, can we just reserve a time with you to get our whole everything set up, like our daughter, this and all that? I said, absolutely. There's 43 of you guys in the community. I think we can handle some appointments to help you guys out
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
can ask that you call and.
Yeah, make an appointment, so-
I've got so many people running in and out,
Right. We wanna be able to
and stuff.
dedicate
That way
the-
I want to be able to dedicate the time to you and not be saying, excuse me, hang on,
Right.
I'll answer the phone. So appointments are preferred,
Yes,
just so I can make sure that y'all get it.
yes.
At least on iPhone, Cellgate, on the App Store and seven list, Cellgate Mobile Connect, Cellgate Watchman, Cellgate Connect, Cellgate App. Cellgate Mobile App.
It's gonna be the one that looks like this. That one there.
Cellgate Mobile Connect.
Cellgate Mobile Connect is what you want. Yep. Mhm.
Question.
Yes, Helen. And that's why we've been hoofing it to get this done, because we want to close them on Wednesday. If there's any issues, have a day or two to be able to troubleshoot it. So we can have the gates closed for, I don't know, Black Monday. What are we calling it?
Dark Monday, Dark Monday.
Ooh, Dark Monday. That's really good.
Marcia,
Yes, ma'am.
back to all the hardware that's just been replaced.
Yes.
Do we know what the life expectancy is on the hardware that's been done?
Should be between 20 and 25 years.
Okay, so we should have to deal with that again.
Right. And that was one of the reasons
Software
too.
updates, but that's.
When Evan came to me and said, is there any interest in just replacing the access system? And I said, well, if you'd asked me $2,500 ago, yeah, maybe, but we've already replaced the transmission, put new tires on this thing.
Seems like all the bets.
Why do I, and that's when he said, well, if I can get you a credit that offsets some of that, would they be interested? I said, send me the quote. I'll talk to my people.
So
So.
we don't have to redo this in 10 years.
No, and that was part of it too, is I went to look at the reserve study and to see how much longer, if we replace the access system per when it was due in the reserve study, we'd have to limp along another 11 years. No way that was gonna happen with this system. So that's why I emailed the committee and said, we need to do this. Like, we can't just keep going like this.
And what's the warranty?
Oh, no, warranty's not that good. I want to say it's 2 or 3 year warranty on the equipment, like installation for any workmanship defects or anything like that. But the life expectancy of this is on the access system is gonna be more like 15 to 20. The lift master was 7 years. And they goofed on that because it's supposed to be 7 years in a residential application. They consider this a commercial application, so it was supposed to be only 5, but because they accidentally quoted us 7, we got 7 years on it.
So we have 7 years of paid applicants.
But we still have a maintenance contract with them.
Oh, heck yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because they go through, they blow out, making sure anybody, critters build nests and things like that. And all of that has an effect on the operation of the system. So they do cleaning and oiling and lubing and all the things.
Larry had requested, I looked at
Yes.
it today, to weld the plate so that the
Mhm.
exit gate doesn't get hung up on the curb.
Yeah, I sent that to Evan and, over on the lower side. And he said what he's gonna do is adjust the limits of the gate. Because right now the gate it's allowing the gate to open too far and it gets hung up on that curb. So I said, yes, let's adjust the limits. If we continue to have an issue, then we can look at welding something on there to stop it at that curb. Because it's getting caught on there.
So I'm not being a party pooper, but I think that's been done before, and after a while, I think as heavy as the gate is,
It just keeps,
it
yeah.
goes back. Yeah,
Mhm.
and they have to be part of the maintenance, they need to come out and maintain.
Right.
Everyone's, when
They
come
know
out,
they need to look at
be
that.
adjusted every time, but
And was that with the
I
old
think-
system though, too, though? The old operators?
it's the old operator.
Okay, so maybe it might be better with the new one, because,
In the past, I've kind of nudged it and it's closed.
Yeah.
But, sometimes it won't, but if they're maintaining it, then they need to, that needs to be
Mhm.
an item of particular attention that they check when they come out.
Right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
linkages look more durable, system and
Mhm.
precision, where the old one was a lot of cotter pins and things look like it move a lot.
It's a loose goosey.
Everything's engineered.
That's not.
Marty, we're
Yes,
gonna get a bid on having them painted also.
Well, I still need to get them to take off those logos and then we'll have them do some touch up. Yeah, that kind of fell down on the, on the priority with all this stuff going on. So, but yes, thank you for the reminder. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. We can still ask questions.